Mounting pressure and of course outrage after the death of a 31-year-old dentist Savita has now got the government into action. The Irish ambassador was summoned to South Block where India expressed its official unhappiness over her death. The Irish ambassador has assured India of full cooperation in this matter. India has sought timely report on the progress into this probe, but India has made it very clear that condolences just won't do.
Obviously, this has something to do with the existing arrangements and the existing legal framework within Ireland, based on perhaps on religious beliefs. But we do sincerely hope that there can be no greater matter of religious belief than the obligation to save the life of a mother. If you can't save the child, you at least save the life of a mother. But this is really for the Irish government to examine, and I do believe that in all sensitivity they will examine it and see what can be done, what should have been done. They have instituted 2 inquiries. We will also today formally approach the Irish government through our mission. We will formally approach the Irish government and seek their indulgence and certainly seek their response on our very, very sad concern.
The BJP also taking up Savita's cause and picketing the Irish embassy, calling it a gross human rights violation.
Irrespective of the law providing for the Savita's right of life to be upheld, Savita was murdered by the medical staff of the University Hospital at Galloway. He has acknowledged a need for speedy and accurate investigation. This horrific death of a pregnant young Indian woman should be an example for all of us to stand united to ensure that a family, though small, though middle class, will get justice when India stands united.
Meanwhile, the call for an independent probe into Savita's death is now growing. A close family friend of Savita saying that the probe should be taken away from the Health Safety Executive and the Irish hospital. An inquiry should be made public. And I quote the friend when I say this, I hope that this might save the life of another woman. This should never happen to another woman. Religion and medicine should never mix. And that's what we are also asking here on Headlines Today. Shouldn't the Irish government prosecute the doctor for blatant negligence? Is the law being used to gloss over what is a clear case of perhaps medical negligence? And what the doctors attending to Savita are guilty of selective application of the law. Why is the Indian government not pressing in for an independent probe? Because remember, if the doctors and the hospitals are involved in any way, the case can be, of course, skewed in their favor. Now, Ireland has said that the probe into the death of Indian dentist Savita would stand up to global scrutiny. This statement came from the health minister himself, who said that an independent expert in gynecology would be included into the team investigating the circumstances of the death. Several human rights groups and the Irish opposition have come out strongly against the Irish government, demanding a change in the strict abortion laws in the country. The outrage within and outside Ireland forced the government to pledge to deconstruct its abortion laws.
I would like to extend our sympathy to Praveen Halapanavar on the death of his wife Savita. An investigation is going on at the moment, an internal investigation by the Galway Roscommon University Hospital Group, and a second by the HSE National Incident Management Team. I think it would be very appropriate that the Minister for Health should receive both those reports, that we should consider those reports and decide what the best option from there is.
I have said very clearly that we need to bring legal clarity to this issue. We need to ensure that in this country that we do not have a doubt which arises in a hospital, in a set of circumstances which puts a mother's life at risk.
Any religion has no business in interfering in the rights of women or anybody else, and it's time that we separated these things out. It's not an issue for religion, it's an issue actually related to women's equality.
When a woman is pregnant, we need to realise that there are two persons now present, the unborn child and the mother has a duty to protect this child, which is her flesh and blood, and we all have a duty to protect the lives of the innocent. Well, Ireland should resist this pressure to legislate for abortion. There is a very powerful and wealthy pro-abortion lobby which has been using court cases such as the ABC case at Strasbourg to pressure the Irish people to accept abortion. But we know from referenda over several decades in Ireland that the people of Ireland are opposed to abortion, and they have enshrined that opposition to abortion in their constitution, and
I only heard about it when I woke up this morning, and I was appalled. I just think it's awful that someone would die because of a bad decision, or because of people not bothering to make a decision that would have changed things for her.
The state has failed in the past 20 years to put in place legislation to make the position clearer and to protect women in this country, and I think it's just a huge shame that this woman had to die in such tragic circumstances, and highlight the fact that there is a major absence of clear legislation in this country at the moment.
Alright, we've of course opened up our phone lines also because this is a story that is generating a lot of response, a lot of anger also. We want to focus on that anger also amongst the general population. Savita now joins us from Chennai. Savita, if you can hear me, go ahead. Let us know what you think. This could have happened to anyone.
Yes, I'm Savita from Chennai. I just want to show my angst against the medical field, because being a doctor, she's also a doctor, dentist.
Okay.
So how could they do like this? How could they be so insane? And where does the humanity go? Religion comes only after humanity. That should not be the case in humankind.
Alright, religion comes after humanity. Somewhere down the line, it seems those doctors thought otherwise. Harbans also joins us. Harbans, if you can hear me, go ahead. Let us know what you think on this story.
Hello?
Yeah, Harbans, go ahead.
Yes. The doctors, the religion should not come into the treatment of the human being. If there is any misunderstanding or a problem with the religion system, then rectification must be issued from the Vatican City itself or the Pope.
Yes.
So that the next Savita should not die in the Ireland. It is not the matter of the Ireland or anything else, but it should be done on the matter of the humanity, or the UN should intervene in the whole of the matter. Thank you very much.
Alright, Vijay Jolly also is with us here on Headlines today. He led the protests today, as a matter of fact, as far as the BJP is concerned. So take us through exactly what can we do, what can the polity do, what can the media do, what kind of pressure can we build on this case?
Hello?
Yeah, can you hear me, sir?
Yeah, can you repeat the question, please?
Just wondering, sir, what can the media do, what can the polity do to ensure that perhaps this case doesn't repeat itself?
You see, the way the media and the public outcry for the government to have a think on the internal cause affecting the humanity and the medical conditions. In this case, we have Irish country having laws which say that since it is a Catholic country, does not allow abortion, and due to such outdated laws, one innocent life of an Indian mother gets lost. So I think by this outcry and the media attention, it puts extra pressure on the Irish government to have a rethink on its own laws to provide immediate medical attention in such cases.
And what would you say to those people who are saying that this is not even about religion, it's about doctors not being able to do their duty properly and bringing religion in the middle?
You see, I think it is basically the negligence of the hospital authorities in Ireland, and especially so the doctors who were insensitive to the pain and agony of an Indian mother who was treating people with a miscarriage, and in the name of religion, and saying that since Ireland is a Catholic country, it does not allow abortions to take place. I think it is ridiculous and an infringement and violation of fundamental human rights of the Indian mother who was living on the Irish soil.
Yes, and you know, Mr. Jolly, I don't want to bring in politics into this, but I just want a quick reaction because your party has been so proactive over this issue. Are you happy with the way the government is responding, or there are sections that are saying is that only summoning the ambassador won't do? You have to demand for an independent probe. What would the BJP like to see be done?
You see, I don't want this case to have a political angle to it, because it's an unfortunate incident concerning an Indian young mother who has died on the Irish soil.
Yes.
But I hope that the Ministry of External Affairs took exactly 18 days to get alive into the fact that the Indian lost her life on a foreign soil, and the lukewarm response of the foreign minister, particularly a person like Salman Khurshid and his whole entourage in the MEA, has seemed to be lacking in a firm approach on the whole issue.
All right, so I appreciate you joining us, and I honestly hope that the BJP and of course the Congress can come together on this issue, mount more pressure, ask for an independent probe. Sumit joins us from the capital. Sumit, go ahead.
Yeah. What I want to say is when this government, small things, they come on the line and they talk, the Prime Minister talks, and this is a very serious matter what has happened.
Yes.
To an Indian.
Yes.
Why doesn't the Prime Minister come on the line on the TV, national TV, and make a statement on this?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I agree with you. I absolutely agree with you. Our politicians and especially our Prime Minister need to focus on these issues. We've seen their politicians react on that. Smriti Irani joins us, Sumit. I'll leave it at that. Smriti Irani also joins us here on Headlines Today. Smriti, appreciate you joining us. Take us through exactly what next in this story. We've seen how your party has moved and very, very carefully and ably so. But what next? You've get out the embassy. The ambassador has been summoned. How do we ensure that there is justice in this case now?
While as a Bharatiya Janata Party member, we initiated efforts to ensure that this case is brought to the notice of the Indian government by writing to the Minister of External Affairs yesterday. We also had a dharna outside the Irish embassy today to bring forth the agony and the dismay that Indians feel about this entire case. I'm called upon the ambassador, who told me that inquiries have been initiated. But when I questioned the ambassador as to whether in any of these inquiries was Savita's husband called upon to understand the chronology of events, I was met with plain silence. I am told by the ambassador that international level investigation will be undertaken with regards to this case. I asked the ambassador whether this investigation has been undertaken after the outcry and the outrage one sees in the Indian sphere and in the global community. I was told that is not the case, but one can't help but look into the fact that Savita died on the 28th of August. And no quo motu action of cognizance was taken by Irish authorities. My question to the ambassador was very clear. That imagine if an Irish woman has suffered this unfortunate fate, wouldn't the authorities then take cognizance of it and slap a case of culpable homicide against the medical staff which denied Savita medical help? Given that the Irish Medical Council and the Irish law provided for termination of this pregnancy.
Yes, that's exactly what I want to know from you quickly. Have you been able to get more information? Because, there is still this belief that there is in Ireland that, listen, we need to investigate the finer points in this case. Is it a blatant case of negligence? Is religion only being brought into it as an afterthought? What more details have you been able to dig out?
See, to me, I'm not a medical professional, but common sense dictates, and whatever I've learned, especially after giving birth to 2 children, I am aware of the fact that if you are miscarrying a child and there is no hope of saving the fetus, priority is given to the mother's life and her right to live. Now, why that priority was not undertaken and why religion was invoked is something which has flummoxed everybody and outraged everybody. That is exactly the question to which I got no response from the ambassador. I said, when your law provides for it, why is it that an exception was made for Savita? Why is it that Savita continuously, after asking whether the child can be saved, was told that the fetus cannot be saved? At the same time, Savita also was not allowed to live. And these are questions to which I got absolutely no answer from the ambassador. But like I said, we recognize Ireland's sovereign right to determine their own laws. But nowhere is it said that their sovereign right is also to kill an Indian citizen.
Absolutely. I totally agree with you. And the government of India has to come up with some clear answers and perhaps put more pressure. Just summoning the ambassador won't be good enough. We have to ask more important questions. Pretty many thanks for joining us. Sanjay also joins us from the capital. Sanjay, if you can hear me, go ahead. Let me know what you think on this story.
I'm just very appalled to hear this thing, and I wanted to know whether she could have returned back to India or some Germany or some Italy or some other US or somewhere else also and consulted some other doctors, you know. And she could have saved her life, and because medical experts would have given her the different opinion, you know. Why should she have stayed so long for in Dublin to undergo this trauma, you know?
Absolutely. What is shocking, and as Smriti was also talking about the fact that she was told the fetus can't be saved, and yet she wasn't allowed a termination of pregnancy. Venkat joins us from Hyderabad. Venkat, go ahead.
Hello.
Yeah, Venkat. Let me know what you think on this story.
You see, recently in American election, Romney has opposed this abortion and he was thrown up. No woman has voted for him.
If she was told that her fetus can't be saved, then why wasn't she allowed a termination of pregnancy? Apparently, it is allowed. Why was she not given the exemption? Keep a track on that story.